Okay. All right, now I'm going to do one more thing that's pretty, or can be, pretty stressful. I don't know if he'll have a problem with it or not. You know, obviously I hope he doesn't, but if he does, it's a good way to deal with it. I've just got a couple of old empty jugs here. And let's let him look at them. Okay. I'll let him follow them around. I don't want to scare him with them unnecessarily. Okay. Okay, good. Now can I do this? There we go. Good. Good. All right, he's handling that pretty well. Different side, different brain. There we go. There we go. Okay, all right. So that's fine now. So what I'm going to do with these, so I'm just going to wrap them around the saddle horn here. And they're going to hang about where my feet would hang if I were riding him. Somewhere in that vicinity. Okay. Now I'm going to step out of his way, and don't forget that step. Step out of the way, okay, and ask him to just walk around and carry those. And this is pretty valuable because they bump against his legs and they make a lot of noise. And they move around and he can see them moving in his peripheral vision there. So I'm just getting him used to stuff like that move around and make noise. And he's handling it quite well. His head's down. I like that. This horse has got a good mind. He's real smart. All right, let me ask him to trot. Good. Good. Much better on the moving out, isn't it? So he stopped there because the bouncing of the jug scared him a little bit. And that's why we do this. He'll kind of get used to it here in a minute. And most horses are more reactive than this one. Okay? Most of them will have a little more trouble with it. And if your horse is real overreactive, okay, as I'm saying that, he does that. If your horse is really overreactive, you kind of want to do this easier. So what I could do, if he doesn't get the hang of it here in a minute, is I could raise those up about 6 inches. See where they're not banging on his belly so low? Because that's what scared him, is that one on his right side there. He's kicking at it because it's kind of below the stirrup. I think he can get over this. I know he can. So if you need to break the lesson down into smaller chunks, you can do that. But see, if something like this is going to cause him to lose his cookies, I'd sure like to know it now before I put my big fat hind end up on his back. Wouldn't that sound like a good idea to you? There, so he's kind of figuring it out. Ooh. Okay. Good. Now, I'm going to wait for him to drop his head and lick his lips. See how long it takes. All right, took what, about 30 seconds? All right, don't skip that step right there, please. Okay, please. Please don't. Okay. I made a video last year called What Causes a Horse to Buck? And I think it's 2 parts. If you've not seen those 2 videos, especially the first one, What Causes a Horse to Buck, I really would recommend you go back and watch them, because I go into some detail about the horse's nervous system and what stresses them out and how they deal with stress and how you get them to come back down. Okay? And that's what I'm doing here. It's kind of a long explanation, so I won't go into it again now, but I really recommend you check out those videos on what causes a horse to buck. And if I'm not half asleep when I edit this, I'll put a link in the comments. Okay. All right. So he's doing pretty well there. Let's move. I'm going to even this up just a little bit. so I'd like them to be a little more even here. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to ask him to walk. And one thing you should be careful with here is these horses will jump right over the top of you. Not out of meanness. They get scared and you happen to be in the way, they'll just jump right on you. So you need to be pretty careful about making sure that they're, you know, going to not do that. And you're out of the way. Good, that's a little better. Let me ask him to trot. Good. Okay. So he stopped there on his own. He got a little scared. I would rather him do that than start bucking. Okay? Because that shows me he's thinking. Okay? And now he's probably going to lick and chew. That shows me that he's thinking about it. And he's not just going into a blind panic. Good. That's a lot of what this lesson's about. You can think your way through problems. You don't have to panic and go ballistic every time something scares you. Okay? This horse isn't too bad about that. Most of them are a little bit worse. And if you look at his ears, he is really focused on those milk jugs, which is fine. That's what I want him to do. Okay, let me ask him to trot. See right there, if I'm not careful, he'll come over the top of me. So I'm just going to let him work through this. It might take him 5 minutes, might take him 50, half an hour. He'll work through it. Good. So he's starting to think about it, process it. When I was a school teacher, I used to tell my students, thinking is a good thing. Thinking requires effort from people and horses. And so, we'd rather not do it if we don't have to. You can think your way through this. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Okay. Now, the reason I insisted that he go that way is because he needs to learn that just because he's nervous and bothered by something doesn't mean he gets to ignore me. And horses will do that. Okay, they'll be fine as long as they're relaxed and they'll do whatever you ask. And then when they get nervous, they'll just block you out and do whatever they want. He needs to learn that that's not how this works. In fact, when you get nervous and upset, I want you to look to me and ask me what the answer is. I'm the leader. I'll tell you what to do. I'll get you out of trouble. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. 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 This is a little more reactive than most horses are with this, but that's fine. He's going to work through it. He's going to find out all this kicking and carrying on didn't really help. Did it, bud? No. It didn't get better. There you go. There. Ooh. He's got a pretty ornery little kick out there, doesn't he? I'll stay out of the way of that. It's okay. And you know, sometimes people see that and they go, oh, that's a bad horse, that's a mean horse, blah, blah, blah. No, he's just doing what he thinks he needs to do to protect himself. His instinct tells him, don't let that thing get near you. It's scary, you know, it's dangerous. And I'm just trying to teach him that it's not. He'll figure it out. Okay. All right, so since he's having a little more problem with this than I expected, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask him to go around a couple more times, a couple more rounds at a trot, and then I'm going to stop. Come on. He doesn't want to move because he's learned that they make more noise when he goes faster. Woo. Okay. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. I'll probably come back tomorrow and work on this some more. You know, since he had so much trouble with it, he's made some progress. So tomorrow I'll come back and work on it some more. And most likely tomorrow, if all goes well, we'll put the first ride on him.